Let's get down in the dirt with the Home Show Garden Pros.
Welcome back. Another Facebook Live for Home Show Garden Pros. Hope you are able to tune in with us and join us. Spread the word if you are. Let me turn my thingy down here a little bit. That way I can see. I have it on so I can see your questions when they come through. So that is good stuff. So, every week we do this this Facebook Live, kind of following up a week from our radio show. This week I had Sherry Hara on, or I was on with her. It's like a partnership thing. Anyway, she did a wonderful job answering a ton of your questions. If you want to check out that show, just go to homeshowgardenpros.com, and there's the listen button, and you'll be able to listen to it. Every week we have a special guest in, and this week our guest is Smita Parikh, and she is with the Sienna Association. Hey, Smita, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. So you do landscape stuff, kind of like run a committee, I understand, with the Sienna Association?
Yeah, so I'm the operations coordinator for Sienna Associations. Sienna is a neighborhood located out in Fort Bend County where the Fort Bend Toll Road ends, if you don't know where that is. And we're a community of about 35,000 people. And part of my job is to be an administrator for the volunteer landscape committee here in the neighborhood. And what that is we have several volunteer members that do a variety of activities throughout the year, including our Yard of the Month program, our holiday decorations contest coming up here next month. We do an annual landscape workshop series that we didn't get to do this year because it got canceled due to COVID. But as a result of that, we're delivering a series of webinars this fall to educate our residents on landscaping, organic landscaping, and fruit trees, actually.
Awesome. And I'm excited about this Saturdays because I get to present. So
that's
super.
Right.
Hey, I do have a question for you. How do you choose the Yard of the Month? Is it just like an overall ambiance, like a sort of a, oh, wow, that really affects me sort of sort of thing? Or how does that really work?
They actually have criterion. I mean, they look at, are the shrubs trimmed back? Are the trees trimmed? How healthy is the grass? Is there good use of color? And how healthy and hardy are their weeds?
Nice.
Or is it managed? So they have some criterion that they look for, and, you can nominate your own yard, you can nominate your neighbor's yard, and then all those addresses go to the committee member that's assigned to that village, and then they go take a look at them and then decide which ones are the winners.
That is so cool. And it's cool. I know the Sienna Association has had in the past, before COVID, food truck festivals and a lot of cool festivals down there. You guys are just doing a very fun job. So
it's a great place to be.
It really is a great place to be. So we, again, had a great time with Sherry on the show. If you want to tune in, we just answered gardening questions the whole time. A lot of really great questions got answered. If you have any gardening questions right now, make sure you put them in the comments section, and Smita and I can answer them when they come up. We would love to help you with that. That is what we do. So also, kind of once we're done answering our questions that we prepared, we have a video from Zach Buchanan talking about cool weather plants. So appropriate, Smita, because it got so cold.
That's right. We didn't even get a warning or a transition day. Just bam, it's 40 degrees.
Yeah, it's like, hello. So, gosh, for sure. Well, we've got some cool weather plant advice coming up, and you ready to answer some questions?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay, this first one is from Mike. Mike asks, I'm looking for privacy, looking for something that's fast-growing, evergreen, deer-resistant, low maintenance, and blends in with mesquite trees. Also, where can I get them? Mike's got a lot of requirements. So what are some thoughts on some of Mike's privacy trees that he wants?
I am a big fan of what I call, and I don't know what the scientific name is. Maybe you can help me with this. It's the olive shrub. It's the olive bush.
Oh, yeah.
And I've got them in my own yard. They line the whole back fence, but they grow. You know how some of these shrubs, like the taller they get kind of stringy at the bottom, and they don't provide necessarily the privacy at the bottom. This thing will stay full from top to bottom. It's very low maintenance. You just have to trim it back like anything else in the spring and the fall. And then they give you these really beautiful, I guess you would call it a fruit, but it's not something you can eat. But the fruit actually flowers a little bit every it's about this time of year is when they'll kind of pop open and put this little red flower. But
Oh, awesome.
it is a silvery green leaf, and it creates an amazing screen if you plant them about 6 feet apart. And I mean, they're incredible.
That is awesome. Things like that are just really wonderful. It reminds me of the pineapple guava, a really nice kind of shapeable tree. But to kind of my favorite for Mike is the holly trees, like the Savannah holly and the Eagleston hollies, and they're kind of like you're talking about. You can have them full to ground. You can really shear them and keep them shaped, or you can just let them go a little wild, and they're beautiful that way too. So two great ones there, olives and holly. So hope that helps, Mike. And a place to get them, we're always going to recommend the Home Show Garden Pros location. The nearest one to Smita is Enchanted Forest, and they have a bunch of really cool trees down there for privacy, big, little. But go ahead and check out Home Show Garden Pros for our Garden Pro locations, and they can definitely help you with some trees. So I think we helped Mike. Mike, you're welcome. Okay, this next question, Rachel's got a vegetable patch question that pretty pressing, it seems like. So, Rachel, what should I be doing in my vegetable patch these days? Smita, what's your thought? What should she be up to in her vegetable garden?
Well, I'll tell you, Sheila sounds like she's doing more than I am. I walked out and looked at my vegetable patch, and I had some really pretty weeds in there. I just decided to leave them for right now. But I do know that, the nice thing about Houston, while we do sometimes get a hard freeze, you can plant stuff almost. There are certain things you can plant almost year-round. Carrots,
Absolutely.
You can do broccoli right now. You can do cauliflower right now. Lettuce is a great thing to plant right now.
For sure.
I've got some green peppers. That's the only thing that is growing in my vegetable patch because I'm convinced you cannot kill a pepper plant. It's awesome. It's a green pepper. I don't even water the thing, and it gives me peppers. It's amazing.
Well, I think that's the secret with peppers, right? Is to maybe stress them out, don't water them as much. It sounds like that.
Maybe
that's a nugget there that came forward. But you're right. Now is a great time to kind of like, okay, where do you have some small open areas? Put some lettuce seeds down or carrot seeds. I think that's great advice. One thing I love about the winter garden is the seeds, right? You just get so much more bang for the buck. Have you ever been in a situation where you overseeded?
Yeah, I did that in the spring. I put a lot of, I went to HEB and bought these beautiful peppers and decided that I was going to plant them, but I think I put way too many in there and it failed. It was an epic fail.
I have 2 peppers currently growing as one. I think I get fewer peppers, but it's kind of cool looking. They're like 2 different peppers that'll be on
a little red one, a little green one.
Yeah, it's kind of festive. So, but I love doing peppers, and some peppers can be perennial, Tabasco specifically. I was just talking about it with a coworker over here, and just some really great ones to go for. But you're absolutely right. Year-round, this is where we brag on our winter gardening in Houston, is being able to do a lot of those vegetables you mentioned. And one of the ones that is bulletproof to the cold is spinach. So if you're a spinach lover, plant a lot of it from seed, and it will not freeze, not in our climate. So something to go for there. So Rachel, maybe find some empty spots and get some seeds down. So I think that was a great thought. Again, carrots, lettuce, spinach are real easy to grow from seed. Of course, radishes being the very easiest. Have you do your kids like radishes?
I'm the only vegetable fan in my house. I've actually got my little vegetable thing right here, but I'm me and the guinea pig. We get along really well because we love our vegetables.
That's great, but I bet the guinea pig loves everybody else because they give him their vegetables.
They give him their vegetables. Yeah, he's about as big as a dog too. People give their dog stuff. I mean, we definitely give him a lot of vegetables.
Well, very healthy diet. Very healthy diet. Probably great heart health. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on to the next question from Jen, and she's asking about some shade flowers, which can be difficult. So Jen asks, what are some good shade flowers? I have a big green tree near my house and want color. Well, congrats, Jen, on the tree size and color. That's wonderful. Wow, that's cool. Whoever heard of a green tree? No, I'm kidding, Jen. So what are some ways to get color in a shady pocket?
One thing that I have found, you're going to have two things you want to address is, yes, the shade, but how aggressive are the tree roots? Because, if you're in a situation where the tree roots are too shallow, nothing you even plant there is going to do well. But I like impatiens are a great thing to put around shady areas this time of year because they'll color. They're not going to do well in a hard freeze. But you could do vincas as well, and they handle cold weather a little bit better. And coleus. I mean, coleus will grow in very pretty around a tree base and just look gorgeous.
And coleus are the kind of thing that I love reminding people to use is things with a foliar color, like leaf color. There's someone with a really brighter white or even a chartreuse, and that's a great way to get a little pop of color in the shade without worrying about too much, making sure you have the flowers. So coleus, there's some ground ivies that do it. Just, anything that's got that variegation or even that kind of brighter green. So
yeah, and coleus, there's so many varieties that you can get, whatever color. You can even get, there's even one that's got pink. So if you're looking for like something that's more like a flower, then, sorry, I've got a sensor light here, so I got to move around a little bit. There we go. So yeah, that's why I like coleus, is you can get just almost any color you want: reds, pinks, limes.
Yeah, and they're nice for DIYers. Have you ever grown those from the bulbs?
No.
Well, I haven't either, but I've seen boxes of the bulbs for sale, so I assume somebody's doing that out there.
All right.
So yeah, last time I was at Buchanan's, they had boxes of coleus, and just grab them by the bulb and go make your own mix and match. It was a really great idea. Okay, we're going to our last planned question, and it's from James. And I love James' goal here. He's got a great goal. So James says, I dream of having a fruit tree that makes fruit every month. I guess he means like multiple trees that fruit every month. Are there any fruit trees that make fruit right now? So James wants fruit all year round. What are some things for early fall?
Well, one thing I think that James should look into, and there's you can't find them at every tree nursery, but if you look around Houston, you can find them, guava fruits this time of year.
Oh.
And we're in a, Houston humid environment generally. You can get, those trees will fruit like at the beginning of spring, and then you'll get a whole nother batch right around this time of year.
Oh, that's
very
awesome.
low maintenance. I mean, you can stick it in the ground and it'll grow really fast, and it'll fruit within the first couple of years. It's not like a citrus tree that needs a little bit longer to mature. You can plant it as a baby, and within a couple of years, you'll get beautiful fruit. My mother-in-law's got a white guava tree that's got these beautiful fruits on it. And those won't turn, a particular yellow color. They'll actually stay green, and the inside is white. But even the red variety of guava, you can get a lot of fruit this time of year from that.
That is awesome. That's a great one. I was just thinking like satsumas, some of the early satsumas like Maiwa that come out now and start to change color a little bit. But so two great options there is early satsumas like Maiwa and guavas. That sounds amazing. I may do that for myself. So glad James asked that question.
We live in a tropical climate, and people don't realize that you can grow a lot of these things that, they get sent up from Mexico because they're growing them year round. We have a very similar weather pattern here, so you can do it in your own backyard.
Yeah, and if you're Galveston, even like, down where you guys are in Sienna, you've got a lot of the cold doesn't happen quite as brutally, and all the big trees you guys can insulate too. So that's awesome. Well, as we mentioned, the cool weather has come in, and so we're going to have a little bit of time to talk to Zach Buchanan about some great cool weather plant options, things for you to put in your landscape beds, your veggie gardens, things like that. So he really dishing out some great advice. So over to you, Zach. We are here with Zach Buchanan from Buchanan's Native Plants. We're to talk about perennials that flower in cool weather.
Yeah, there's some great options for getting color in your yard in that time when you think things are dormant or dead.
Right. These are so cool looking. Look at those leaves.
Yeah, so this is a common name for it is the tractor seat plant or Ligularia. The botanical is Farfugium giganteum.
Fancy.
Yeah, very fancy.
Really cool. I've seen these planted in groups, so you get 5 or 6 of them. You have a really nice effect in shade.
Nice statement. They bloom like these yellow daisy-like flowers.
So pretty.
Kind of late fall, early winter, but great kind of summery look to your winter beds.
Absolutely, and it's surprising, kind of a surprise.
Very.
Then you have Linton Rose.
Linton Rose or hellebores. This is, not native to our area. Has a hardiness up to or down to zone 5. So it can get down into the negative 20s.
Oh my gosh.
It's an evergreen small perennial, and it blooms this time like winter, early spring. And
That
they
is
have
awesome.
really striking blooms, a lot of different colors and shades.
And so you get a small shrub basically out of this, 10 to
Yeah.
15 inches tall. So you can do some border defining or something like that.
Absolutely.
And then some really cool flowers
Yeah.
come wintertime.
Yeah, and finally another great option that
Classic.
can get actually very large, but is an evergreen shrub as well, is camellia. Yeah, absolutely classic addition to your landscape. These are going to bloom in either kind of early winter or early spring, late fall, early spring. But it's a great addition, evergreen, hardy addition to your landscape.
Definitely when nothing else is blooming, camellias are blooming.
Yeah.
And look how just gorgeous and waxy those
Yeah,
leaves
it's
are.
got this great bud here that's about to pop open.
So fun. Well, what a really unique plants too. So just goes to show you there's so many options for your garden. For more great information and stuff like this, go to homeshowgardenpros.com. Wow, thanks, Zach
I
and
did
Dany.
not realize. I didn't realize you could grow camellias out here. I love camellias.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
awesome.
No, they're great. And what's cool is during this holiday season is when they're flowering. So it's like a really cool time. Well, the sasanquas, to get them in, and you have that awesome waxy leaf. We've seen the most success with a little bit of shade. So,
Yeah, I'm from California originally, and we had a whole wall of camellias that you were saying this time of year it would just explode in color, and it's just amazing. I'm going to go out and get myself a camellia this weekend.
heck yeah, get two.
Yeah.
So one of our top fans, Tim, has a question, and the question is, at what low temperature should I pull in my hibiscus plants? So as we start to think of winter, when should he be protecting his tropicals, specifically his hibiscus?
I'm going to defer to you for that answer.
And that's fine. You know, with hibiscus, I'd say 40 degrees. You know, especially one of these cold weathers like Smita was talking about that just kind of surprises us. If you see it getting down in the low 4s, high 30s, that's when maybe to pull it in. So hope that helps, Tim. It definitely is above freezing on the hibiscus. You don't want it to get all the way down to the low 30s, even if it's not quite freezing. So there you go. Well, Smita, thanks so much for being on with us. Great job. And
My
so,
pleasure. This is a lot of fun.
So I know you got these kind of classes happening. So how do your residents get involved with the classes?
So we put the links out on our Sienna Facebook page, or you can, if you can't find it, you can just shoot us an email at operations, that has an S on the end, operations@clubsienna.com. And I can send you the links to register for these webinars. They're happening. Our first one was last weekend. The one this weekend will be with you, Dany, and that's Saturday morning at 10 a.m. And then the last one will be on Saturday, November 7th, I believe it is, at 10 a.m. And that'll be with John Panzarella, fruit tree expert
Heck
up
yeah.
there in Lake Jackson. And he's a really interesting guy. I'm really looking forward to it.
He taught me everything I know about citrus grafting. John did.
Yeah.
So really smart guy.
Very dynamic individual.
I thought.
So yeah, that's where we're going with that.
Awesome. I thought for a second that you were going to be like, just go to Operation Plants or something like that. You know, some spy lingo. But it was your email
Yeah, we're
address.
working on the image and the marketing side of it, but I just got here. Give me some time.
No, sure. I think it's great, and when it comes down to it, a lot of kind of these big neighborhood development type places that are master planned have garden clubs or gardens that they're part of, and look into yours. You never know what your neighborhood might be doing. I mean, I bet there's a lot of Sienna residents that don't realize that they got this awesome kind of gardening situation going on. So.
Absolutely. And the idea behind doing the webinars is just, even if you've never gardened before and you're just looking to learn about it or what can I do in my own yard, short of, saving the environment with organic gardening, which is a big push the association is trying to lead right now. We really want, the residents and our landscapers to start using organic materials when they fertilize and work out there. It's bottom line is curb appeal. How do I make my yard look better? How do I make my yard look like the best one on the street? I mean, who doesn't want that? So, that's kind of what the philosophy behind it is.
And I love that. And by doing organic, you can get the curb appeal and know that you can walk barefoot in there and it be totally safe. So I love what y'all are doing. Thanks so much, Smita, for being on with us. Great job. And I look forward to getting to know you better. So that's awesome.
It was very nice meeting you as well.
And everybody else, thanks for tuning in. This has been another Facebook Live with Home Show Garden Pros.